Hey, Kingdom Business Connect. My name's Kent Murawski. I'm one of the executive coaches and consultants with Kingdom Business, and I want to share with you something that really helped me. Let me start with a story. This past summer, I was in New Hampshire on a personal retreat, and I was walking on a beautiful back road around sunset, and suddenly this thought came to me, and I believe it was from the Holy Spirit. He said, Kent, the most basic human instinct, everybody thinks it's survival, but survival is not the most basic human instinct. The most basic human instinct is actually abundance, connection, and dependence. What do I mean by that? Well, if you go back to the garden in Genesis 3, before sin came and Adam and Eve were with God, walking in the garden in the cool of the day, they never once in that space thought about an animal jumping out to kill them or another human being. They never once thought about where their next meal was coming from or getting out of the cold or the sunlight and being, exposure. They never thought from a survival perspective. They were only thinking from abundance, connection, and dependence in complete and perfect union with God. Well, once sin came, that all changed. It shifted. They did now have to worry about something jumping out of the bushes to kill them. They did have to worry about where their next meal was coming from, and their connection to God was severed as they were kicked out of the garden, right? Now, what does this mean for us? Well, God actually created our brain with two different states, survival state and executive state. And your brain can only be in one state at a time. Here's the problem with that. As business leaders, when we're in survival state, it robs us of creativity, innovation, and problem solving. So let me give you a quick synopsis of what these states are and how they affect us as people and as business leaders. The survival state is actually regulated by the amygdala, down by the brainstem, and it enables us to react quickly to life-threatening circumstances. You would know this as the terms fight, flight, or freeze. It's meant to keep us safe, right? So the problem is our body can also overreact to stressful things and that are not life-threatening. Like, let's take things like traffic jams, work pressures, unrealistic fears, financial difficulties, family difficulties. Stress keeps our brain locked in survival mode and causes a bunch of health problems. The executive state of the brain, on the other hand, is regulated by the prefrontal cortex. It's the brain, part of the brain right behind there, and it's where our executive function comes from. So things like the ability to make good decisions, creativity, innovation, performance, feelings of fulfillment and joy all come from the executive state. Now, as business leaders, we want to stay in the executive state as much of the time as possible. But how do we do that? Well, the way that we do that is what Jesus taught us in John chapter 15 when he said, "Abide in me." And the word abide or remain is a verb, and it means to stay connected, to stay in a place of expectation, to remain. So simply put, the goal of abiding is connection. A branch only has one job. Its job is to stay connected to the vine. And when it does that, fruit comes automatically. Now, what does abiding look like for us? Well, it can look different ways to different people. I think for all of us, it can start with a daily time with God, but it should never end there. So rather than give you some formulaic approach to being friends with God, to staying connected, to abiding, I want you to simply ask the Holy Spirit this question. God, what does abiding look like for me in this season? What does abiding look like for me in this season? See, we're all different, and God knows us and designed us, and we have a different way that he wants us to connect with him. Pay attention to the things that foster faith and life-giving connection and do them. I just want to thank you for letting me share today. And I just want you to know, as a Kingdom Business, as an organization, we love to walk with business leaders. We love to help carry the burden and come alongside you to help you integrate the spiritual and the practical day-to-day of running your business. We really believe that it will literally transform the way that you do business. So if you're interested in working with us in that way, just go to our website, kingdombusinessconnect.com, and click on the services tab and reach out to us. We'd love to help you. God bless you. Have an amazing day.